What's up, gamers? Today's April Fool's, so I thought to myself, what's the biggest joke in all of gaming? That way I can talk about it to celebrate the holiday. And I came up with 3 different options. And I choose... Oh. Among Us is an interesting game to say the least. Being a glorified Flash game built on the Unity engine by developers Inner Sloth, Among Us is a pretty simple indie game to play with friends. It's similar to Mafia, where players have to find out which of their fellow players is actually lying and proceed to vote them out. This is a pretty simple concept, and Among Us does it well, with there being 1 to 3 imposters running around killing crewmates, while the crewmates complete tasks around the map in order to try and win the game before they get killed off. The game is all about the meetings in between play, where players get to discuss but more often scream at each other of who they think the imposters are and why it isn't themselves. Like I said, it's a pretty simple concept, and this would have been the end of the story until 2020 and COVID happened, which, unless you're clueless, led to many people being locked down inside of their homes. This led to an increase of people playing video games, of course, but more importantly, multiplayer games, as many people wanted a way to still connect with their friends during this time. So starting in the summer of 2020, various streamers and YouTubers picked up the game to play for content. This just made sense, as it led to both a great opportunity for collabs between influencers while letting everyone's content be unique due to the more individualistic aspects of the gameplay. This led to a huge increase in players on Among Us, which in turn led to more streamers producing content, making this perpetual cycle of growth for the game. Let's actually get into the game now to see if it's as fun as people make it seem. And we wait, as the game's been dead for quite a while, so might be a while. As I'm currently playing during April Fools, the characters are gonna look like these horses for some weird reason, though most of the time the crewmates look like these bean-shaped astronauts. This keeps the game simple in my opinion, as players can quickly tell each person based off of their colored character, though the game still provides quite a few options to customize yourself, with hats, suits, and pets at the start, but within a later update, players got the Cosmic Cube, which is like a skill tree-like progression system that lets players unlock various items, like banners, visors, and the previously mentioned items. Many saw this as a quick cash grab, as combined with the new store, most Cosmic Cubes cost actual money to unlock. Wow, Imposter first round, that's surprising. I'll just start off with some easy framing. I mean, what could go wrong? What? I didn't even do anything. I only murdered a guy. What's so wrong with that? The game consists of 4 different maps. The Skeld, which is the first map in the game, is modeled after a basic spaceship. Overall, it's probably the best map, as everything is equally spread out with great places to be hidden from other players in order to get some kills, as well as the tasks being pretty simple for crewmates, meaning both sides are actually equal here. Mirror HQ is next, being set on a sky facility. This is probably the worst map, as it's pretty broken apart, leading to it taking quite some time to run around between tasks, and with the more open rooms, it's harder to get kills. Third, we have Polis, set on an alien planet. It goes back to what works, with it basically being a bigger Skeld, just with more complex tasks, as everything is back to being evenly spaced out, other than the lab in the bottom right corner, which, if caught there, can lead to some easy kills with crewmates. Pretty easy double kill. I'm telling you, it must have been some other guy. I would never kill somebody. Now, wait a second, what about that 4th map? Well, this was the airship. Based off the Henry Stickmin series also developed by Inner Sloth, this is what led to Among Us's eventual downfall, as many players waited patiently for a new map, as this was the main way for the game to be kept fresh without interfering with the basic gameplay loop that made the game so enjoyable in the first place. So when the airship was quietly announced in September of 2020, many still didn't realize that a new map was coming out, which led to people getting bored. So they waited a month. Then another month, until the Game Awards came by, which gave us a full trailer and let the mass audience know about the map. The map then accidentally got leaked onto the Nintendo Switch version of the game, which made many think, oh, the map's almost done. If a playable build got leaked, they're probably just fixing bugs at this point. Oh, just how wrong people were. It took another 3 months for the airship to release. By this point, the game was dead, and people were pissed. It shouldn't take over 6 months for developers to make a map in a glorified Flash game. Sure, the development team is small, but so is the game. It's not like they were making a Call of Duty map. This should have been easy for them in many people's eyes. They later on added new roles that got stolen out of community mods like the engineer, shapeshifter, and scientist, but the damage was already done, with many seeing Innersloth as money-hungry developers who focus more on cheap merchandise to sell to kids than making actual content for their game. This then got reinstated with the previously mentioned Cosmic Cube, as it was just another way for Innersloth to make a quick buck. The game was officially dead. Let's see, maybe I'll better luck as crewmate. And my team proceeded to vote me out immediately. Maybe I don't want to wait another 10 minutes to get into a game just to be voted out. So, was the game fun? Actually, yes. But at this point, Among Us is best left to be forgotten, as it's just turned into another cash cow for the developers, with tons of merch out there to buy, a VR game that helped to revive the game for a little bit of time, and tons of crossovers with other brands. Innersloth clearly doesn't care about the game itself, as there aren't any new maps out in over 2 years. So, what is there to entertain players? Mods that just add a bunch of new roles which quickly get annoying, a hide and seek mode that gets boring as many players already did that with basic gameplay options. Like I said, the game is just best left forgotten at this point, that way a newer and more fun party game can take over Twitch and YouTube. Well, with that joke of a game out of the way, I am going to thoroughly decontaminate myself of the filth that is Among Us, that way I don't accidentally turn into a piece of cheap merch. Damn it!